Hello, my name is Martha Fuechsel and I am 26 years old and I spent the last 3 years in Zambia. And my position at Special Hope was a cooperating teacher. And that through the years, you kind of have ownership over different areas of our programs. But overall, my job was always to train teachers, help with parent training, help with creating more effective programs and improving areas that executive staff people saw were important, and assessing children and evaluating them. I'm probably missing a very main part of my job, but a lot of it was training and a lot of it was working with our programs directly and finding ways to support our teachers who were in those programs. What was it like to transition to a new country? So I went over with another girl at the same time who was coming to Special Hope. Her name was Amber. And so while I was transitioning, I had someone else with me that was also new and experiencing everything for their first time. And so for me, I think that helped me tremendously because transitioning to Zambia really wasn't hard for me. I pretty quickly learned what people were telling us. There's a lot of people giving you information, good information about Zambia and the do's and the don'ts and the where to go and how to get places. And so we did take a couple, I feel like it took us a couple months to really feel, for me personally, like I knew where everything was. I had my weekly schedule. I knew what I was doing. But some advice I would probably give you, one sec, let me make sure I'm on that question. Oh, okay, what was it? I'm gonna talk a little bit more of what it was like. So I would say some good things where you are pretty connected with Special Hope. And so you do know you go to work every day. That's amazing for me. You get to know those people. I would say it did take some time to build those relationships with the people I was working with, mostly because of Nyanja and having to be brave enough, not that you even need to be brave, to ask them questions and to work with the teachers and learn from them. And so I think the more I started asking questions, the more I started initiating conversation, the better the transition was. And overall, I would say after even creating some more friendships, the transition wasn't that hard. And so I would say for me, it was a pretty easy transition. It felt really comfortable, really quick for me. Have you had any experience doing that before? So I've never lived abroad for that long. I had visited Haiti and the Dominican Republic for a mission trip that was about 12 days long. And I think that did help me because I wasn't as shocked to the poverty because it looked very similar to what I had seen in Haiti, but I had never chosen to live somewhere. And so I would say I didn't actually have that much experience moving to a whole different culture. What types of things did you do to prepare while you're still stateside? I looked at a lot of things on the Special Hope website. I looked at pictures, I watched videos, I asked questions to the people I had contact with. And I think for me, that was really helpful. I know some people like Join Expat Zambia, where you hear a bit more from the expat side, but I never did. And I don't know if it would have helped me in the beginning, but it was a pretty quick transition when I said I was coming and when I left. And so I didn't do as much, but it was nice to watch videos and try to picture the city a bit more because a lot of stuff I researched online gave me a different perception. It gave me a perception that I was moving to a village in the middle of nowhere, which Lusaka is in no way that. It's a big city that has so many things that can help you feel comfortable and that you're used to, and then also areas that you're not used to. What did you tell your family or friends who were sad you were leaving and weren't the most supportive? It was very helpful to know information. And so I would try to tell them things I knew about the place, where I was going to stay, or what my job was, or who the kids are. And I think the more that I looked like I knew where I was going, which honestly I didn't know that well, the calmer that they felt. I reassured them about Skype and FaceTime. Internet is great in Zambia. I mean, there's times when it goes down, but I Skyped and FaceTimed all the time. It didn't use that much data. And so I just reassured them of that. And then the few people that would say, I had a few that would always say, there's so much need here. Why would you leave your country and go somewhere else? And I just told them I wanted to experience a different culture. I wanted to learn from a culture. And so I went a lot more on that perspective of I wanted to go and learn and then come back and share. Of course, I wanted to support and help, but I tried to frame it more, which was really one of my goals, was to go and learn. And that kind of helped some people see my perspective a bit, but most people are very supportive. How did you look for a house? When I went, I had the help of Holly and Lauren, who are at Special Hope. But I moved many times in my past 3 years. I kept moving because I'd find better deals, or I lived with different friends. And so a lot of it, I would say, is through, there's a lot of Facebook websites that are having houses being sold, but a lot is just through contacts. So asking friends if they know of anyone, writing out to different groups and saying, do you have a house around this amount in this area? And that was really helpful for me. So every time I did move, it was to a place that a friend of mine had recommended. But if it's in the beginning and you don't have those connections, people at Special Hope have those connections. And so they're pretty good at telling you places, areas that are good and well priced. I was surprised. I thought housing would be very inexpensive, but because we need to live in a gated, like to have a wall around us, we need different materials with us in our house. I usually paid rent around like $400 or $450, and then when I was living with different people, it was closer to $350. And so I was pretty astonished by the price of housing. What did you pack? This is my favorite question because I did not pack. Like when I came back to the States to visit, I brought so much stuff I had wanted and didn't know I would want. And so things I really wish I had packed more of is clothes that I loved and that I was comfortable in. So Lusaka is such a social city. No matter who you get to know and who your friends are and where you go, I just feel like there's so many social events where you're going to dinners or you're going to listen to music or you are going out dancing. And to me, I wish I had packed more of my dresses that I really loved that were above the knee. And so there's kind of two, I would say, types of clothes you need. When you're in the compounds with our moms, you should be wearing jeans or things below your knee, and you should never be wearing short shorts when you're in the compounds. And I think it is very respectful to try to dress in a more conservative way. But when you're not in the compounds, even when you're going grocery shopping, when you're going to the mall, when you're out and about, I would wear athletic shorts, or I would wear a dress I really like, and I would wear a tank top, and that was completely fine and appropriate. I would say like cut off shirts and really short shorts, I am never comfortable wearing there. And when I saw other people wearing them, I'd also kind of be like, oh, I don't know if that's okay. So you want to cover yourself, but I really had wished I brought more clothes that I loved to wear and that I was comfortable in for different events and things I went to. It is really hot, but it isn't like what you picture. It's not like 120 degrees and you're sweating. Like there are days like that, but I would say you don't need to buy a lot of clothes that are perfect for a desert because usually you can find ways to cool down. But I did wish I brought more warm clothes. I think it's pretty cold because in Zambia, houses aren't made to hold heat. They want to hold the cold so that in the summer it can be colder. And so one thing I found I struggled with is I was very cold. I am very dramatic, but I was extremely cold, and it's hard to warm up because not everyone has heaters. And so I wish I had brought a few more warm clothing. A fun board game. I feel like I played a lot of board games and wish I had my own. I brought my favorite toiletries just because they're kind of expensive in Zambia. You can get tampons and razors and your shampoo and conditioner, but the price for like shampoo and conditioner is much more expensive. Tampons I would just buy in Zambia. I think they're not that expensive. I wish I packed more athletic clothes because I ended up doing a lot of running and hiking and camping, and I really thought my hammock was a really fun thing I brought. And so, the other thing is people in Zambia for work dress pretty nicely. Like they are wearing they just look amazing every day. And I would walk in with my cotton shirt and linen pants, and I would look like I was in my pajamas. And I would say things like that are great, but I also had wished I brought more clothes that I felt more professional in. And so that's kind of just up to you and what you prefer to wear. But I would just say bring what you usually wear and you enjoy to wear, as long as it covers most, like some of your skin. And just know when you're in the compounds, you should dress more conservatively. But you don't have to wear a dress or a skirt. You can wear jeans. And then when you're out and about in the community, wear what makes you comfortable. Oh, I answered that. What do people wear? Ooh, sorry. So pretty much what I said in the compounds. What a lot of moms you'll see are wearing very nice clothes, and they'll have their shitange wrapped around them, which is a piece of fabric to keep their clothes nice. But outside of the compounds where we work, people are wearing such cool clothes, very hip, clothes that they love. And so I would just say, wear what makes you comfortable, wear what you usually wear, as long as it's pretty appropriate. What will I do for fun? This is such a good question. So I think Zambia, or Lusaka, is such a fun city to live in. It's a very social city. People are, I feel like I'm always meeting people. I'm always like getting to know new people, going to dinners. There are thousands of restaurants. I kind of think that's the main thing to do in Zambia, but there's yummy restaurants like Thai and any type of food. I just really got into Thai food. Any type of food that you enjoy, you can most likely find in Zambia. They even opened up a taco place, and that's pretty unheard of. So what will you do for fun? I did a lot of dinners with friends. There is a movie theater that costs like $3 for a ticket. There is live music a lot at different restaurants. There are Bible studies you can be a part of that are amazing. There are events around the city in different areas, and I did a lot of camping also with a group of friends and traveled a bit around, and cooking was actually really fun. I'm trying to think. I honestly think the aspect of fun was very, this is the main thing I wanted to say. I joined on a sports team. So there's like touch rugby and frisbee and different. There's this one place called Gymkhana Club that's pretty close to where Special Hope is. And that's where I spent a lot of time in the beginning making friends and playing sports. I also went to the gym a lot for fun. And so it's pretty open. I mean, there's just markets and things you can do, and restaurants and movies. And so I think it's definitely a place where you can have fun, and there are things to do, and there's different events for you to go to. What were you